is Armstrong Cable. Tonight we are at Kim and Luke's house, and we're here to really just to meet Luke and to hear about what you guys are doing. There's a huge fundraising opportunity that everybody can be a part of, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, Kim, I want to hear from you. So tell me about yourself and about Luke.
Well, I'm best known as Luke's mom. So if you don't remember my name, at least you'll just know I'm Luke's mom. Luke is 12, and he's been diagnosed with FOXG1. And what comes along with FOXG1 is seizures, movement disorders, non-mobile, doesn't have the ability to walk or sit independently. I mean, he has equipment that helps him, so we're very fortunate for that. And of course, as you can see, he's a pretty tall fella. Yeah. I think currently he's maybe like 4'8".
Oh, wow.
And I'm only 5'1". So these days it's getting bigger and bigger and harder for Mom to pick up Luke, right, Luke?
That's a nice smile. So when was Luke first diagnosed? When did you first find out about FOXG1?
Actually, it was several years. Lots of testing, lots of different doctor's appointments going out of the state, Utah, Arizona, California, trying to find a diagnosis. We had originally thought we had found the diagnosis by watching, of all things, Mystery Diagnosis on television.
Okay.
There were a set of twins that kind of had some of the same issues that Luke did. We went to our doctor, had him tested for it. Spinal fluid came back that, hey, this is what he has, but no other work showed that. So we still had to search and find FOXG1. So I would say approximately when he was maybe 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
And right now, currently, I believe there's 289 people in the whole world been diagnosed with FOXG1. FOXG1 is a congenital variant form of Rett syndrome, where Rett syndrome affects girls and FOXG1 affects boys and girls.
Okay. So is there research being done for any type of cure or helping with just alleviating symptoms or helping adjust those types of things?
Right now, mostly it's management with seizure activity, movement management, therapies. Now, FOXG1, they do have a mouse that they are doing research on now. So hopefully in the coming years, we'll find out. We are also in a natural history study with a doctor in Rochester, New York, who specializes in FOXG1. So the more research, I'm sure they'll either hopefully become a cure or at least some more ideas of how to treat the ongoing issues that are involved with FOXG1.
That makes sense. So can you tell me a little bit about daily life with Luke? Just from talking to you, I know that something that is huge to you guys is inclusion and taking Luke everywhere and doing everything. So tell us a little bit about what a day-to-day life day looks like for Luke.
Well, most days he's in school. He attends a school for blind children in Pittsburgh. And we get up really early in the morning to make the long trek up into the city. It involves getting him up early. He has to have a ton of medicine, unfortunately, before he can go to school with his breakfast. Lifting him out to the van. Typically, the wheelchair is already in the van. So I just lift Luke into the specialized car seat that we have for special needs kids and buckle him in, and off we go. But once we get to the school, it's a whole different story. We have to take him out of the car seat, have the wheelchair out of the van, and strap him in the wheelchair as you see here. And then after school's over, we do the same thing over again. And then, of course, if we need to stop at the grocery store or, we need to stop at the post office or something like that, it's an extra trip of in and out.
And Luke, do you have a lot of friends at school?
You do? Mostly girls or mostly boys? Both? Okay.
Now, I've heard that Luke is quite the ladies' man.
Oh, yes. Yes, he is very much so the ladies' man. He's well known around school, too, with all the ladies, not just girls in his classroom, but the therapists, teachers, even the cafeteria people.
So, was it last year that you guys entered the contest?
Yes, we entered a contest for National Mobility Awareness Month. It was back in May. It was based on votes. You had to receive enough votes to get you into the top 10th percentile of votes. We made it. And then once you're in that top 10%, you go to a panel of judges. And then the panel of judges, based on the story that you wrote for your entry into the contest, they decide who wins. Okay. Unfortunately, we didn't win.
Yeah. And this contest was for a wheelchair accessible van,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And how much would that help your life? Just having a van that makes it easier to take Luke around?
It's not only convenience, but it is mainly for him. Because we want to keep him out in the community. He loves being around people. He's very sociable. He enjoys being a boy. He liked going to play baseball, but unfortunately it became a lot for me to lift him in and out, the wheelchair in and out. So that's kind of been put on the back burner. And a lot of activities that I know he would enjoy have been placed on the back burner because of not having the ability and ease of getting him there. And lifting in and out being such a burden, because when you're doing it by yourself, that's a lot of weight to take on. And I just want him to be able to say, well, let's go to the grocery store today, Mom, or I want to go to the water park. Can you take me? Just be like, yeah, sure. We don't have any roadblocks, no barricades, anything from stopping us from going with ease.
Yeah. That makes sense. And Luke's only getting bigger. He's 12 now, so he's still growing. Mm-hmm. And he's, what did you say, 4'8"?
Yes,
and so
4'8".
So he's just going to get taller and bigger. And
Right.
So the ability to just put him in the van in the wheelchair and go, that would change everything.
It would. It really would. And again, give him that opportunity that not only his peers currently have, but he can have also. Right. To experience more things, to get out in the community, go to the museums, wherever you'd want to go, right? You like riding fast rides like at Kennywood and stuff? The ones that make your dad sick?
Those are always the best ones.
Right.
So you guys are doing a fundraiser right now.
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. We're having a fundraiser at Arby's. Actually, all Arby's in almost pretty much Southwest PA. I know Uniontown, Mount Pleasant, Greensburg. There's 40 locations in Pittsburgh, I believe. And you really don't have to do anything. Right. You just go there on July the 13th between 5 and 8. Order dinner if you don't feel like cooking. Order dinner, and 15% of your sales will be donated towards Luke in our quest to get a handicap accessible van.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So when I go to Arby's on July 13th between 5 and 8 p.m., do I have to say anything special to let them know I want to make a donation for Luke, or is it all the sales?
No, it's all the sales from 5 to 8 out of all the locations. So you don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Just go and pick up some dinner. That's it.
That sounds really, really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't even have to, you get out of cooking dinner.
That's a plus.
Who doesn't, I hate to cook dinner. So this is really good. You get to go have curly fries.
Right.
Who doesn't love curly fries? A good milkshake, a good dinner, and 15% goes to an incredible cause.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sounds like a really good plan. Now, what about people who, they just don't like fast food, but they want to give, they want to help Luke out? Is there any way that they can give a donation if they're weird and they don't like Arby's?
Well, that's greatly appreciated. We have a GoFundMe page, And you can go to GoFundMe and you can search handicap accessible van for Luke, and you'll see his bright, smiley, shining face on there. And then you can donate through there. It's very easy and simple. And all money raised on there will also go towards getting a handicap accessible van as well.
How much does it cost to get a wheelchair accessible van?
Well, they can start out, I would say, between $40,000 and $45,000. Yeah, and they can go up to $65,000. It just depends on your accessories, where you would like the wheelchair to go in from, the back or the side. We aren't that fancy, so, and I'm not really good at technology that much, so I would just have something manual, So that's, they're pretty expensive.
They're very expensive, and you're not looking for like the latest model of the newest thing. You're looking for, what's going to help Luke in his life.
Absolutely. To, like I said, get him out there, get him doing the stuff that he really likes to do. He doesn't really like staying at home with Mom. He'll tell you.
So what are some of Luke's favorite things to do?
Favorite things to do?
Besides flirting with girls.
Well, yes, that's top on the list, He loves to swim. Loves to swim. If we go anywhere, he's in the water and we have to take him out, he's never has a bad attitude, but there he would get a bad attitude. He loves to swim. He loves to be outside as long as it's not too hot. And he loves just being around other kids. And then he loves when someone sings to him. Yeah. He doesn't like when I sing to him. But he loves when other people sing to him.
So he likes to go to concerts, that kind of stuff?
Actually, he's only been to one concert before, and it was Sugarland. He loves Sugarland.
I've never even heard of it.
What? Yeah. You'll have to find them.
I'll have to look them up.
Yeah, he
I'll have
loves
to know
Sugarland.
now.
When he was little, and he would cry because part of his disorder, and we didn't know at the time, his age, he was like maybe 1, cried constantly, and we didn't know at the time that was part of the disorder, constant crying. I would turn Sugarland on, he would stop crying. It was amazing. So that still is his favorite group, but he loves any kind of music really, and he likes to laugh at me when I sing.
Very fun. And your family likes to go camping and
We like to go camping, and again, we take him everywhere. Camping, we were thinking about, maybe going to Kennywood because he likes riding rods. The faster the better, spin around fast. He likes those, anything, wherever we go, he goes. He keeps us, on our toes, but anywhere we go, he goes. Right, Luke? He likes to go to the mall too and people watch, and, he likes when people make over him at the store, like, oh, hi, Luke, or hi. He's so sociable. He really is. He's a ham. He really is.
Very fun. So something I would really like to see, if you wouldn't mind showing us, is what it looks like when you take Luke out, when you put him in the van with the wheelchair and everything. Would you mind showing us what all that takes?
I will be glad to show you.
Okay, so let's head up to the driveway and you can show us, because the wheelchair weighs how much?
It weighs 60 pounds. And Luke weighs nearly 70.
So that's 130 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't think I could lift that. So,
Getting some good muscles.
Yeah, getting some good muscles. So why don't we see what that looks like, okay?
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Something that I read was that you are very big with Luke about inclusion, and you and your husband take him everywhere. He gets to experience
everywhere we go,
Yeah.
He's been to more places because of, unfortunately, doctor's appointments and doctor visits than I'd ever been as an adult.
Oh, wow.
And so he does. He goes everywhere. He goes everywhere with us. Anywhere we go, he goes. So we enjoy camping, so we like to take him camping a lot.
Wow.
So wherever we go, he goes.
Yeah, and so show us, if you wouldn't mind, what it looks like whenever you take Luke somewhere. All the things, all the steps to taking the wheelchair in and out of the van. Would you mind showing us?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
So, of course, Luke is in the van. We'll have to pop the hatch. Now, this wheelchair weighs about 60 pounds.
Okay.
Luke weighs nearly 70.
Oh, wow.
So between this and lifting him in and out and the van in and out, I'm starting to get a little muscle.
Yeah. Now, is this a special type of wheelchair?
Yeah, this is his wheelchair that he uses for school purposes, anywhere we go.
Okay.
We always have this. It's for safety. I wish it was more for convenience, but it's really not that convenient. And it's good for him for sitting posturally to make sure he's in the right seating position.
Oh, good.
So this is what works best for him.
That makes sense.
So we'll pop the brakes. Wheel it out. There we go. And we just have to climb it to the right position. Of course, then shut this. And we'll come around and get him out. And again, like I said, this weighs 60 pounds, and he's almost 70. And if you can imagine going to the grocery store,
Right.
and a 15-minute trip, you just want to go in for 2 things, isn't necessarily a 15-minute trip by the time you unload, load, unload, and load again.
Yeah.
So then I get Mr. Luke out. Whoa, big boy. Big boy. Okay, bend your legs, please. In. There we go. Come on. So we got to strap his feet in because he has a movement disorder that he moves a lot, so he'll decide to kick those out if we don't. The seatbelt strap here. And then, of course, the harness strap. Okay, head back, please. Thank you. Thank you. And then we're all set to go.
Look at you. Ready to go. So everywhere you go.
Everywhere.
Everywhere you go.
School,
it's that
post
much.
office, grocery store.
And so you drive him to school every day?
Yes.
So every morning on the way
Every
to
morning,
school. Wow.
we come out, kind of do the same routine. Actually, I try to leave the wheelchair in the van overnight so I don't have to do so many steps in the morning.
That makes sense.
But when we get to school, we, out with the wheelchair, out with Lukey, and then the same thing on the way home. And then if we want to stop at the grocery store, got that extra.
Extra trip.
Yeah.
Very cool. So a wheelchair accessible van.
Yes.
He would be able to stay in his wheelchair in the
Yes.
van.
He would be able to stay in this actual wheelchair. These loops right here are for transportation purposes, for tying down.
Okay.
And so they also have more back here for, safety and making sure that they are safely tied down in an accessible van. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I might be wrong. Is this chair just a better seated position for him than like the car seat that he's in the car regularly?
I think they're both of the same because the car seat that we have is designed for special needs kids.
Okay.
However, he is starting to get really tall. His feet touch the floor in the van now, and it's just starting to become the next step to where you think, how much longer is he going to be able to sit in this car seat?
Right.
And I don't know what the next step from that is other than let's trying this handicap accessible van, not only for purposes of, ease for mom and my back, but to make sure that we just choose not to go anywhere because of, it being so many steps. So if I wanted to go to the grocery store for a quick visit, I don't just drive by, then I could just wheel him out and wheel him back in. No lifting, no heavy lifting of him, so that would be very convenient and helpful for us. And then not only that, but then he'll get to go to more places, do more things.
Right. Like baseball.
Right.
I read that he played baseball, but this past year was difficult
Yep.
because of work schedules. And
Right.
so he would be able to participate in more activities.
Yes. Well, work schedules was a big thing, but not only that, with my husband working on Sundays, it was very difficult for me to do this by myself. You know, the lifting and the wheelchair, and, you know, we do it 6 and 7 days a week sometimes. And we just chose, unfortunately, you know, that since it was so much for me to do, that he wouldn't play baseball. But I don't think he minds too much, even though he did like it. Yeah. But maybe in the fall, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, it was such a privilege to meet Luke and Kim and just to kind of get to talk to them about Fox G1 and how much that affects their life. And I really, really, really want to encourage everyone who is watching this to give and to donate. This fundraiser is super easy. All you have to do is don't cook dinner on July 13th. Blow it off completely, or burn dinner if you insist on cooking something, and just blow that off. Take your whole family down to Arby's. Literally any Arby's in the area. Everything you order, 15% of that goes to Luke and his new van. And if you really don't want to do that, there's always GoFundMe. But this is a super easy way to help a family in our community who desperately needs it.